Hello everyone, I'm Teresa, and today I'm going to talk about the Major Arcana card number 19, the Sun. Welcome back to another video of the Tarot series. Today's video will be about the card of the Sun. This is the card 19 and it brings a lot of light to the final stretch of the Major Arcana. Before I begin, if you never watched one of my tarot videos, I will not give you simple keywords or sentences to memorize. I'm not going to do that, okay? I will try to walk you through a visual analysis of the card itself. Help you look at the card and understand why certain elements are there and what they can possibly mean. After that, I will help you put everything together with possible meanings for the card on a reading, so you can take notes if you want to. Okay, now the introduction is done. Let's start with the number of this card. This card is the number 19, 1 and 9. So first way to look into this number is to split it. I'm repeating what I said on previous videos, but I do feel it's important and necessary because not everyone has watched previous videos, so bear with me a little bit. By splitting them, we end up with the number 1, and number 1 stands for new beginnings, for fresh starts, for potential. And on the other hand, we end up with the number 9. Number 9s have this particular aspect about them that they are last single-digit numbers, but they aren't the last number as far as numbers go, obviously. So we can see it as a number of changes, being near completion, but with still some space to progress, to grow. There is this sense of fulfillment, but it hasn't arrived just yet. Now, if we take the route of adding the digits until we reach a number of single digits, we would get back to 1. 1 plus 9 would give us 10, and then adding 1 and 0 would give us 1 again. So we would be back at the idea of the potential of a new start. However, I would like to keep in mind, at least with this card in particular, that when we reach the Minor Arcana, we have a scale that reaches the number 10. The cards go from Ace, which represents the number 1, until the number 10. If we stop adding when we get to number 10, for the sake of respecting the Minor Arcana number scale, we would get a number of real completion, the end of a cycle, the idea that this cycle ended, and now it's time to move forward to another one. And every approach I just mentioned makes sense with this card, and you will understand why in a little bit, okay? Number part is out of the way, let's focus on the card itself. What can the drawing of this card tell us? So on this card we have the Sun on top, in the center of the card. We also have a naked child holding a banner with a red cloth. And this child is also riding a white horse. Behind them on the background there is a stone wall with sunflowers on top. This is a pretty common scene to witness every day, isn't it? Well, what does this all mean? Let's focus on the Sun first, because obviously, this is the card of the Sun, so it's an element that is very important and needed to be on this card. On astrology, the Sun is related to our ego, but we will get to that later on. Now let's focus on the symbolism of it. The Sun itself is a symbol of life and vitality. Remember that our entire solar system moves around the Sun. Our Earth needs the Sun to stay alive, so every life form can thrive. It gives us warmth and light, and it allows us to experience different seasons, day, night. Remember that it's also thanks to the Sun that we have moonlight at night. The Sun on this card has several rays spreading, so this is an indication that the Sun is shining at full force, like a strong summer day. Moving on from the Sun, we can start to look at this child. First thing we notice is that the kid is obviously naked. Children are always seen as a symbol of innocence, purity of mind and spirit, They carry tons of energy, but this energy often needs help from adults to be directed. So this child holds no secrets, hides no shame or fears. It shows only innocence, confidence, and happiness. Notice how this kid has blonde hair with flowers and a red feather on top of its head. Most people see blonde hair on tarot characters as a sign of purity or spiritual enlightenment, a higher form of being. I personally discard this vision for obvious reasons, and that's why I have a love-hate relationship with Rider Waite Smith decks. Some of the values and symbols are outdated and too focused on the time they were drawn. But then again, we need to remind ourselves that back then life was different and we thankfully evolved since then. Society changed and keeps on changing every day. The flowers on the child's head reinforce this idyllic romantic scene. They bring beauty and grace, while the red feather reinforces that this child is filled with life, with passion to live, with energy. Red is a very fiery color. Remember that red is the color of passion, anger, and action. But with this child, we see a soft smile. So we can lean towards the positive aspect of the color red. And talking about red, we can also talk about this big flag or banner that the child is holding. It's bright red with no symbols to show, so we can see it as a big force of love and passion. Almost half of this card is filled with this cloth, so in a way, this child is announcing this positive and lovable energy wherever he or she passes by. But what about the horse? The child is riding this horse's back with no saddle, no reins. This horse is an element of freedom, of running free, running wildly with no barriers. Think about it as a wild horse. So in a way, the child is riding or moving in total freedom. No reins to guide here or there, just moving freely. However, there is one element here that can indicate a blockage or a barrier to its freedom, which is the stone wall on the background. This wall seems to be restrictive, strong and high enough to prevent anyone to see past it or to overcome it. We can't see what's on the other side. It's definitely an obstacle, a challenge. But the important thing to notice is that the wall is behind the child and the horse. They aren't facing it and they are moving towards another direction. So this wall can be a reference to past challenges or past barriers that no longer are affecting them. They no longer matter. They have been defeated somehow, or maybe not really defeated, but they found a way around it. So now the only thing missing is the 4 sunflowers on top of this wall. The most used interpretation is that they represent the 4 suits of the Minor Arcana, the Wands, the Cups, the Swords, and the Pentacles. That could represent that this wall only stops being a restrictive obstacle when we keep the 4 aspects nourished within ourselves. We reach the sunny happiness when we keep them nourished. Remember that each suit relates to an element, and each element relates to an aspect or trait. Wands is fire, and as such is the creative and passion trait. Cups is water, which relates to relationships and emotions. Swords is air, which relates to the intellect, the knowledge, and even egos. And then there's Pentacles, that relates to the element of earth, which in turn relates to material goods, finances, the palpable reality. But why sunflowers? If you are not aware, sunflowers are flowers that when they are young and growing, they follow the sun. They will sort of spin around so they can face the sunlight and better absorb its energy. So here there is the idea of the power that the sun has over the elements on the card. Okay, lastly, this doesn't correspond with any zodiac sign, but it's obviously ruled by the sun. When most people think about astrology and zodiac signs, it's their sun sign that they give more importance to. And most people don't even research the rest of the signs because it already tells them a lot about a person, their sun sign. The sun is also a representation of our ego. It represents who we are on the outside, the majority of ourselves. This card is also associated with the active and passionate element of fire, obviously very present in the card. Let's move on and see what this card can mean on a reading. If you get this card drawn upright, it will most likely be a good and positive sign. This card's main idea is success, optimism, celebration, a vibrant and cheerful phase. It can represent a new phase, a fresh start with positive changes, and this will be something that will be noticed by others around you. See that the child is parading a red flag, sort of like announcing his presence. And as such, this positive change or phase will be something that, even if you don't announce it, it will be noticed. Whether the question at hand is about a career, a project, financial problems, or even relationships, this card is a good omen, a sign of accomplishments and prosperity. But what if the card is drawn reversed? If we see this reversal as an energy blocker, then you or the person you are doing the reading for may be experiencing a time of sadness, a feeling of loss or even disorientation. You may feel unable to see the sunny side of life. You may be experiencing lack of clarity and losing the grip on the success you so desperately seek. The vital energy of the sun isn't helping you to move forward, and you can feel the interest in your goals slowly fading away. Only by recovering the bright and active energy of the sun can one regain the power to thrive. However, this is a card with such positive energy that even if darker times are in motion, you can easily find the light again. You just need to really push yourself to find it. Remember that the sun always rises after nighttime, so don't lose yourself in the darkness. This is everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and were able to learn something new. Let me know your thoughts and insight on this card. If you have doubts you want to share, feel free to leave me a comment. I will reply whenever I find time to do so. My life has been a bit messy lately, that's why this video is a bit late. Sorry about that. Also, before you leave, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give this video a big thumbs up to show some support, and check out my social media links on the description box below if you are curious for more about me or my journey. I will see you on the next video for another card. Stay safe, bye!
Hey everyone, it's the second day after my wisdom tooth removal surgery, and as you can see I still look like a potato head. Yep. I wanted to do the video of the sun, the tarot card, for Sunday, but I won't be able to. I don't even know if I'm going to use this thing that I'm filming right now. I was supposed to film the video before the surgery day. I wasn't able to, and stupidly enough I thought surgery is on Thursday, so on Saturday I will be able to film. I clearly can't, because I can't speak too loud or open my mouth too wide. And I mean, look at this, even my neck is swollen. Pain medication isn't kicking in the way it was supposed to, so and my family members say that the swelling is going down, I don't know anymore. It's not as swollen as yesterday, but I don't believe them because I feel it hurts even more. And here it hurts like ugh. If I use this clip that I'm doing right now, I hope you enjoy the video of the sun, even if it is late. And I'm sorry for it being late, but it's a little bit out of my hands, the recovery time right now. Thank you for waiting for the video anyway. Thank you for your patience, for your support, and for your love. Don't be scared by my sick, no makeup, swollen face, okay? I'm sorry for showing up like this. I still appreciate all of you. I love all of you, and a big kiss and a big hug to all of you. I hope to see you soon with a non-swollen face. Bye.